Hey, Viola Rules here, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. So last time we were interrogating Adrian Andrews, or cross-examining, and we asked her about the guitar case because she made a mistake in her last testimony, so let's see if we can pick apart this one. Now, let me see the guitar case again. Empty. Wait, if she touched the guitar case, it should have her fingerprints on it, but it doesn't! There is no way you were the one who opened the guitar case, because it only had Juan Carita's fingerprints on it. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. What is it, Miss Andrews? She's been caught in another lie. You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. There's nothing strange about that. That's strange. Hold on a second. Court record. I need to check something. Wine glass, because we know she touched it. It has her fingerprints on it. Wait, that is a straight-up lie. You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? You bet I do. Take that! I have your proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Got her again. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Oh, I like that animation for her panicking. Her glasses break and then she pulls out a new pair. Order! 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 Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. Yeah, but it's supposed to have something in it, Phoenix. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar, the bright red guitar, was at the studio. Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. Really, Phoenix? I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on this case, Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided... No, it's not. No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in the photo of the crime scene. I'm sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. If you are so sure, Wright, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please, enlighten us as to why the guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case. The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar was in it? I'm sorry, Edward just cutting off the judge because he's about to say something ridiculous was hilarious. So, you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty? Is that it, right? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. That's not true. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside this case at the time of the murder? What was inside it? That's the only thing that stands out to me that could have been in it. That makes sense, to some degree. No, I'm going for it if I lose health. This is a photograph. Oh, so that must have been right? Because the health bar went away, would stayed on the screen if I was wrong. Oh, okay. Yes, but what is important is what's in that picture, Your Honor. In this picture? It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is... inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. But why would the Jammin' Ninja have a Nickel Samurai costume? What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Wright, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? She didn't say no. I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Order! Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Well, we don't know she's the murderer, though. Well, wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Ongart's. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places. True, that is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. Okay, what was this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case? It was stolen from Onguard, it was a spare costume. I'm just gonna say it was a spare, but again, I don't understand why it was in his guitar case. Mr. Onguard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one. What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? Yes, that is what I'm saying. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had planned to bring the spare to the ceremony. But why? The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the Jammin' Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai's spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? Maybe Adrian Andrews, asked him to? Ah, so that's what he intended, huh? What? Did you just have a revelation about something? What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer. And then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Thanks, Mia. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... Seems like the Nickel Samurai is to confess something after the post-ceremony stage show. For the press conference? Maybe? What, were they gonna switch roles or something? That seems weird and preposterous, but I can't think of anything else. Must have been correct. What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Engard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. Oh! Juan was supposed to dress in his costume, go to the press conference, and confess something? Wait, but why? But how can that be? The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Carita himself. The victim? Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Carita was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai. He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Carita, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt Engard. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure. True. Miss Andrews? I can see why you are pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Okay, and you were helping him manage it, I guess. Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. Okay. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. You! Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. He was going to ruin him, huh? It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. Okay. What? This case has a lot of loops and twists and turns, wow. And do you know what the secret of Mr. Engard's is, Miss Andrews? She probably does. She's his manager. That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it was. Ah, I see. That sounds like a lie. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. Extremely. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. Engard? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Okay, so what fib are you gonna tell this time? From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. Yes, he did, actually, but go on. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course. The button and the knife. How did you know about the button, though? But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. Okay, I've noticed two things you've said that don't quite make sense. Unless you're talking about the button being revealed after the fact, but that seems a little bit weird. That does account for everything. Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit. If there are no objections, I feel I can pass a verdict based on this testimony. Absolutely not. Now then, Mr. Wright, if you please. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. Yeah, like, when did we start losing? That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. And we will do that in the next episode. If you guys enjoyed this one, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all next time.